This cute little baby's name is Adolphus Schlickenberg. He go on to be an artist, a vegetarian, an avid alcohol hater, and also a committed animal rights activist. His portfolio also includes starting the Second World War and ordering the biggest massacre known to mankind. What a sweetheart, right? Mainstream media programs to believe that there are so-called villains in history like Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Mao Zedong, Vlad the Impaler, and others. But Hitler gave hope to the desperate German people. Stalin defeated fascism in Europe. Mao is not the official Chinese currency, and Vlad the Impaler, a person that unironically puts spears into people's assholes for fun, is a Romanian national hero. So why are these people seen as villains? All-knowing great historians love to explain their moral superiority by telling you how they would have done so much better in Hitler's boots. It's easy to say that from your mother's basement, isn't it? But how can you even call Hitler a villain? In many ways, Hitler was a very different dictator from others around the world. Rather than using his powers to make himself rich and live in luxury while the common German suffered, the mustache man made sure to increase the standard of living, save the German economy, and invest heavily into scientific research. By now, I have probably planted a small seed in everybody's mind that maybe the man that literally ordered the killings of more than 60 million people was actually a positive influence on the world. No, Hitler really did cause a lot of unnecessary pain and suffering to this world. What I want to showcase is that you're only presented one side of the argument when you talk about history. For example, when you learn about the Second World War in school, you're absolutely and undeniably pushed an agenda. Because when the United States dropped the biggest bomb known to mankind on Nagasaki, and the second biggest bomb in the world on Hiroshima, it was a necessary sacrifice for democracy. But when the Croats killed some Serbian children to create a strong ethnic state, it's a genocide. Crazy world, right? So why is dropping 2 nuclear bombs on Japan not a war crime? I think one British politician can explain all that.
North of the embryo, yep, would be broken up in the open field.
History is written by the victors is an extremely dumb phrase, and all it tells me is you don't know how the historical process works. History is written by historians.
This is a pretty popular video of this guy claiming that actually, history is not written by the victors, it's written by historians. And honestly, he makes a pretty good point. If you forget the fact that 99% of people have zero interest in history and believe what limited info they were told in history class 9 years ago.
Do you know who fought in the Civil War?
The Nazis versus Germany.
And considering that some guy managed to sneak in Shrek in the official Saudi history book, you can probably sneak in some political lies if $100 million was on the line. And it's not like we don't have examples of world leaders bending the narrative for their own personal gain. Like that one time when the Catholic Church suppressed most scientific research for almost a millennia. Or when the Germans burnt a ton of books for the sake of national pride. Or how North Korea is literally 1986. So clearly you can alter history if you have the influence to do so. And I know that at the end of the day those governments collapsed, except of North Korea, but we're still waiting. But that doesn't change the fact that history was literally written by these leaders. So if politicians bending history is a real thing, which nation decides to change the past for their benefit? A very important aspect of having a bigger army is being able to say literally anything about your now defeated enemy. Let's take the American Civil War as an example. The American Civil War is many things. It is 1, the abolishment of slavery. It is 2, one of the deadliest wars in American history. Ironic, I know. But funnily enough, when the war started, the Union had absolutely zero interest in freeing the slaves. And also did not even allow black men into the army up until the end of the war. So what are the real reasons for the American Civil War? Firstly, Southern states were very concerned that Lincoln was going to steal their hard-earned property, aka free their slaves. And secondly, something about states' rights and Southern pride, but that's probably just a justification for slavery made up later on by Confederate politicians. To sum up, Dixie motherfuckers want to have their free workforce, and Yankees were mad AF because Dixie slave owners made way too much money. So if the USA and the CSA both had no intention of freeing the slaves, why is then the USA flag the flag of freedom and the CSA flag the flag of slavery? It's probably because of the history of the time and the fact that the CSA actually did own a lot of slaves, and probably politics around that time pushed that agenda that the USA